Thank you. Good morning. Well, it's morning in Jamaica. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Michelle. You want?
Okay. Okay, good. Yes, I'm privileged to be among this company of very highly educated persons in production. And I wanted to make a disclaimer. I'm not one of the learned, I'm one of the practicing companies. And just to say that my passion is really about SMEs, but also about finding ways to educate them in the skills that they need as businesses. And so that is why the foundation was formed last year, because it wasn't helping me to be a part of an association with many objectives. It suited me more to form our own association, so to speak, which is a foundation, to be able to help SMEs directly, and that being our sole objective. One of the areas that I'm passionate about is production. We have a bakery in Jamaica. Honeybun is a bakery, a wholesale bakery. We deliver island-wide and we also export. So when I was asked by the group here to speak this morning, I took a different angle. I wanted to speak more about some of the practical things that we have done at Honeybun to improve productivity. So here you see on my screen, can you just indicate if you can see my screen?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. So, yes, thank you. So the foundation was founded to develop powerful business models for SMEs and the creative sectors. Okay, in Jamaica, to empower them to become transformational industries for Jamaica's economy. So the important thing here is that we develop models. We don't help one SME, or we're not mentors for small businesses. We develop national models. So an example of that is right now we're developing a handheld app that people can do a simple interview that will identify the gaps within their businesses and know where in Jamaica to go to get the help or where there's funding. Another one of the important models that we developed for national use is the opportunity for businesses to access training. So with many different associations, business could always join one of the association and know what's going on. With the Honeybun Foundation platform, people can see all the training from all the associations, the cost, the description, select them, put them in a calendar that is repeated each year so they know that at January every year, this particular course is being run by the JMEA, or the Jamaica Exporters Association. So that is what I mean by models. So I think that's an important thing in terms of how to support SMEs. So this morning I have been asked to speak on the enhancing business performance post-COVID manufacturing. I don't necessarily think we're in post-COVID as yet, so I just want to share with you what our company, Honeybun, which was an SME maybe 9 years ago, what we have done. And Honeybun is now a junior stock market company. What do they call it? They call it junior market company on the stock exchange. So we're still not a large company. So sharing these, you will see I share quite a few pictures of the factories. Most of the pictures are taken by camera, so you won't get the great quality that I saw in some of the previous presentations. So I want to share with you 7 things that Honeybun did. And as I was saying before, we're semi-automated, so it will be useful for those of you who speak to or represent or work with SMEs. So the first one that I'm sharing with you is data. So of course we know data is king. So we have weekly meetings and we have a lot of we have 7 different reports from 7 different department heads. And so we're able to report on our efficiency in different ways through our different lines. So one of the things we did was we really beefed up during COVID our ability to collect data because it became so important while sales were falling and expenses were going up, expenses such as transportation for staff and such as the sanitation, new requirements for masks and antiseptic. So we needed to be able to measure this week by week. We were meeting before, but we certainly accelerated our reporting on data to be able to see how we were trending. So one of the set of data, and I'm not exactly showing you the data, but some of them I'll explain a little bit as I go through, is our ability. This was one of the improvements we made. We were reporting on capacity utilization. But we broke it down. We wanted to report on it by line, by day. So this was an enhancement of our data collection and reporting. We have another set of data here, which is very interesting, I think, because what I've done in this presentation is I've shared ways in which we are reporting on productivity that are not the usual ways of measuring it through actually just the production staff. This is a data that we also presented that measured continuous improvement. So what we see here is we saw continuous improvement quarter over quarter, and we have seen that in quarter 3, when COVID was abounding, we had many more continuous improvements than we did before. We also see that operations accounted, I think that's spelled wrong, for 31% of the continuous improvement ideas. And we can also see that we also measured our continuous improvement by the value that it provided. We see that most of the value came from data. So what we're doing now is we're trying to get persons to convert the data that we're getting into other value areas so that it's not just data, but how can we convert data into more efficiency so that the green part of the pie gets bigger. So we did a lot of measurements, and one of them was in continuous improvement, and this really drove productivity and efficiency. The second area that we improved was our planning. And I think everyone here would know the importance of planning in productivity. So this is actually a 24-hour mixed schedule because we operate 24 efficiency in our service part of the company. So this is just one example. And I found it very difficult to continue to talk about productivity from the production or operations and felt that there was gross inefficiencies even within our admin staff. So what we did was we actually listed the work areas that each of our HR staff handled. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 HR staff. So we listed their work and we listed how many hours a week it took them to get that job done. And the surprising thing was I got them to do this at a point when they were asking me to replace this vacancy. This particular individual had left the company and they wanted to replace this individual. And I said, no, before we do that, I wanted to do what I call a desk audit. So I went through a couple varieties of desk audits before we came up with this one, which is brand new. What we found was that this person that they needed to replace was doing 30 hours of operational work each week, and this one was doing 12. So, you know, you think everybody is busy, but then when you dive deep, you find out that there needs to be some realignment of work processes to be able to assess how efficiently these people are working. They're taking the same 40 hours a week, but they're actually doing 12 hours of work. The sixth thing that I think was important for productivity do the things that are going to allow us to accelerate after COVID. Thank you very much.